This year's release, if you'll take a look, you can go to the web page that I have pulled up right now. I've got the link to it down at the bottom. If you'll click on this is just a quick view of the page. List on the left over here, you can see that we have the links to the design standards indexes. Part of that is also the cover page, the content, the revisions history page. One of the things this year that we've added in the roadway design section, I think the structure section has had them for quite a while, but we've added all the borderless DGNs. So if you take a look on the right side of the page, you can see the DGNs that accompany the standard indexes. These are essentially DGN files that you can pull out. If you have something that's project specific that you need to edit the DGN file of the index, you can actually download this DGN file and use these for any project specific designs that you have. One of the things you might want to do is take a look at the terms of use. You can pull up the terms of use. The terms of use file will go through the requirements for using the DGNs, the borderless DGNs. Next, when the department determines that there's a need to change a standard, it must be made during the year and cannot wait for the annual implementation. We will issue a design standards revision, and these will generally be accompanied by a design bulletin. You can take a look here on this site on the web page. If you click on the DSR hyperlink, it will take you to the revisions page. This is just a snapshot of the revisions page. This is from 2015, but the revisions for 2016 will be similar. And there again, you can pull up any of those. Right here, I've highlighted one. This is going to be the roadway design bulletin, the RDB 1415. The one that I'm pointing to was actually attached to 501 last year. But you can take a look at any of those files. This will pull up the actual roadway design bulletin that was sent out that accompanied the changes. If you take a look under revised sheets, you can see that by the index number you'll have revised sheets. For 600 we had sheets 1 through 12 of 12. That indicates that all 12 indexes did have some revisions to them, and you can also click on that link and that will pull up the actual design standards revisions indexes and you can see what the changes were. And this is just a generic copy. This was actually Bulletin 1413 that went out last year in 2014, but this kind of gives you the idea of what you'll be looking at whenever you pull these up. Instructions for design standards. Instructions for design standards are essentially written to the consultant. What these are actually instructions on how to use the design standards. And within these, you'll have certain. There's 4 different sections. There'll be design criteria, design assumptions, plan content, and pay item information. So essentially, the design indexes, you can pull one up. Here we have 402. You can click on the link for IDS 402 that accompanies that, and this is part of that. So if you take a look here, this is just the first sheet. This has the design criteria. It tells you where you'll actually find the criteria for the design. Has design assumptions and limitations. The third section would generally be plan content that will tell you how that works, what you need to put inside of your plans to reference the indexes that you're going to be using. And then finally, it would also have pay item information. And finally, I want to address the revision history. We had over 75 revisions to the design standards for the 2016 e-booklet. All the revisions are listed on the revisions history sheet along with the descriptions of the changes. If you take a look there again, going back, whenever you pull up the e-book itself, you can take a look at the left side here under index number. We're going to have what's called revisions. Click on the revision sheet, and then you'll pull up a sheet that's similar to this. There'll be multiple sheets in the revision history. Once again, if you want to take a look through here, this is going to give you essentially what we've changed from 2015 to 2016 with a brief description, and I've highlighted one of these here. If you take a look at 201, we added embedment length, the dowel bars into the slab on optional construction joints detail, and changed note 4 to the well wiring and reinforcing. Sheet 4 or 5, we changed the minimum size of the formed wire to D4 to meet the ASTM. So essentially this sheet you'll be able to go through this sheet. It'll tell you what's changed from the previous year, so you'll know what, if you're using one of these indexes, you can take a look at the revision history, and it'll give you the change to the index and what you need to do. We're going to have several speakers today. We're going to have Rick Jenkins is going to be speaking on the changes to the drainage indexes. Durwood Shepard's going to be in to speak on the Index 410. Kevin McDaniel is going to talk to the changes to the MOT standards. Steve Nolan is going to come on next and talk about the changes to the structures indexes, and then finally we're going to have James Whitley from planning to discuss the changes to Index 17900. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Rick Jenkins to discuss the changes to the drainage standards.